What causes wars? A possible resolution. When wars begin, they are usually explained in familiar ways. Political leaders speak about national security, territorial disputes, ideological differences, or economic competition. Analysts discuss military balance, strategic interests, and alliances. News reports often focus on immediate triggers such as border incidents, political tensions, or acts of violence. These explanations are not wrong. Nations do compete for power, resources, and influence. Throughout history, such competition has frequently led to conflict. Yet, if we step back and look at history as a whole, something puzzling becomes visible. Wars occur across very different kinds of societies. Monarchies fought wars. Empires fought wars. Modern democracies also fight wars. Even societies that consider themselves educated, rational, and civilized repeatedly fall into violent conflict. If wars were caused only by political systems or economic competition, then progress in science, education, and international cooperation should have significantly reduced them. But this has not happened. The pattern continues. This observation suggests that the deeper cause of war may not lie primarily in politics or economics. Instead, it may lie in something more fundamental, the way human beings understand themselves and others. Human beings naturally form identities. We identify ourselves with families, communities, cultures, religions, and nations. Identity provides a sense of belonging. It gives people orientation and meaning in a complex world. However, identity also creates boundaries. The moment identity forms, the world begins to divide into two categories, us and them. At first, this distinction may appear harmless. In many situations, it is simply a way of organizing social life. But over time, these boundaries can become emotionally charged. When individuals strongly identify with a group, they begin to interpret events through that identity. Anything that affects the group begins to feel personal. Criticism of the group can feel like an attack. Differences between groups begin to appear dangerous. Gradually, fear and mistrust begin to grow. History shows that wars rarely start suddenly. They usually develop through long periods of suspicion, misunderstanding, and rising tension. Each side believes it is defending itself. Each side believes the other side is responsible for aggression. Psychology describes this tendency as group identity and group bias. Once people strongly identify with a group, they naturally favor their own group and distrust outsiders. However, some philosophical traditions have examined this tendency even more deeply. In the yoga philosophy of Patanjali, the root problem is described by the term avidya. The word is often translated as ignorance, but its meaning is more precise. Avidya refers to mistaken identity. According to this idea, human beings misunderstand who they really are. Instead of recognizing their deeper nature, they identify themselves with temporary forms such as the body, the mind, social roles, cultural identities, and national affiliations. These identities become central to the sense of self. When they are threatened, individuals feel personally threatened. The same mechanism operates at the collective level. Nations, religions, and political movements develop powerful shared identities. These identities strengthen unity within the group, but they also intensify division between groups. From this perspective, wars are not simply political events. They are large scale expressions of the same psychological process that produces conflict in everyday human relationships. The pattern can be expressed very simply. Identity produces attachment. Attachment produces fear. Fear produces conflict. If this diagnosis is correct, then the solution to war cannot lie only in diplomacy, military alliances, or political agreements. Such measures may reduce conflict temporarily, but they do not address the underlying psychological mechanism. A deeper solution would involve transforming the way human beings understand identity itself. Several philosophical traditions point towards such a transformation. In Advaita Vedanta, for example, the central insight is non duality. According to this view, the separation we perceive between ourselves and others is not absolute. Beneath the many differences of culture, belief, and nationality, there exists a deeper unity of life. Recognizing this unity does not eliminate differences between societies. Nations will still have different interests. Cultures will still preserve their traditions. Political disagreements will continue to exist. However, when identity becomes less rigid, the emotional intensity of conflict can decrease. Boundaries between groups may remain, but they no longer provoke the same level of fear or hostility. In practical terms, this transformation begins with awareness. Individuals who understand the role of identity in conflict may begin to observe their own reactions more carefully. Instead of reacting immediately to perceived threats, they may pause and examine the assumptions behind those reactions. Education also plays an important role. When people learn about other cultures and histories, rigid perceptions can soften. Dialogue becomes possible where previously there was only suspicion. Ultimately, lasting peace may require more than political agreements. It may require a shift in human perception itself. If the root cause of conflict is mistaken identity, then the long term solution lies in understanding who we truly are beyond the identities we defend.